All right, in this video, we're going to look at the topic of evaluating an expression with a negative exponent, positive fraction base. Before we get into it, there's something really important to note. Let's say you have any fraction, just a fraction a over b, raised to the -1 power. I'm going to show you a cool trick. Anytime you have a fraction to a power, what you are allowed to do is raise both the numerator and denominator to that power. So like you can have a to the -1 and then b to the -1. Now, one thing you may or may not remember from Algebra 1 is that if you have a negative exponent, like I have here, anytime you have a negative exponent, what I like to do is I circle that power, and to make it positive, I can move it to the other side of the fraction. So that power I can move downstairs and it's going to become a positive exponent. Likewise, if I have a negative exponent in the denominator of a fraction, I like to circle the power and I bring that guy upstairs to make it positive. So this in effect becomes b to the +1 in the top over a to the +1 in the bottom. In other words, just b over a. This is a huge trick that you can use. So at the end of the day, if you have a fraction to a negative exponent, you can flip it and those exponents become positive. For example, let's get into one here now. If I gave you the fraction 7 over 3 to the -1, at the end of the day, this is the same as 7 to the -1 over 3 to the -1, and then all I have to do is take the 7 to the -1, move it downstairs, this 3 to the -1, move it upstairs, so it's 3 over 7. If you wanted, you could have just flipped it and gotten the answer straight away. That's fine. Now, you're not always going to be so lucky. You might get ones that are a little bit trickier. I call it A, B. Let's say you have 2/7 to the -2nd power. Now this is what you can do. What you could do is, because it's a negative exponent, right? I have a negative exponent. You can flip the fraction, so make it 7 over 2. By flipping the fraction, you just made this now raised to the +2 power. And this is real quick why. So again, you don't necessarily have to show this work every time. I'm just trying to show you why this worked. This is the same as 2/7. It was to the -2, which is the same as -1 times +2. So I'm kind of separating the 2 from the negative. So all I did just now is I raised 2/7 to the -1 and made it 7/2, right? Because the -1 exponent flips the fraction. And now all I have to do is square it, which means 7 squared over 2 squared. So it's 49 over 4, and that's it. Let's do one more just for giggles. All right, let's make this one part C. Let's say I have 9/2 to the -2. So again, what I would do is I'd say, oh, because it's a negative exponent, I'm going to flip the fraction and make it 2/9. Then I just have to square that. So it'd be 4 if I square the 2, and 9 squared, 81. That's it. Done. You might be thinking, man, that's not that bad. You're right, it isn't that bad. Thanks for watching. Go get it.